Shanti. Good morning. Can you all hear me okay?
Yes, right.
Okay. Thank you, Ben. I'm Shanti. Welcome to the webinar. Thank you all for joining today. My name is Ramesh Challa. I've been a practicing member of Rajayoga Meditation, and I'm also an IT professional in Silicon Valley. Today, it's my privilege to be an instrument for this webinar, Explore the Extraordinary You. Before we begin, go deep into the topic, please stay relaxed and then keep your distractions away and then save your questions till the end. We have a question answer session at the end, so you get a chance to seek any additional clarifications that you need. Before we start the webinar, I just wanted to begin with a small meditation. Um, let's take a minute break. Close your eyes. Just relax. Take a deep breath and release it slowly. This time, today, is completely dedicated for my own self. I am in a meeting with the most important person in the whole world. That's me. Any thoughts or distractions are unsolicited. No visitors, like waste thoughts, are allowed to pop up into my mind during this meeting for the next 1 hour. I make notes, either physically or mentally, and churn on those learnings. I stay focused, calm, peaceful, and relaxed. Now I am ready to explore the wonder of me. Shanti. Welcome back. So, the topic for today is explore the extraordinary you. We all know human beings are the most intelligent beings among the living beings in the planet. We are far superior because we have the intelligence. That's why, though physically we are weak, but we have clear dominance than any other living being on this planet. The greatest gift that is given to us is the intelligence which made us the formidable force in this planet. Our ability to think, combining with curiosity, we have been constantly searching for something new. And this curiosity, our nature of exploring, made us unique. We have explored the land, explored the oceans, and we have explored the space, and we have discovered so many things. And modern exploration has led so many scientific advancements which made our life more convenient. So, with so much going on in this world, I wonder if our lives have become really great and wonderful. What do you think? Are we living the best of our times, or are we living the worst of times? So, what is the answer? So I want you to quickly respond to the poll. Okay, great. So I see majority of them um, are of the opinion that we are living the best of our times, 67%, and 33% felt um, we are living the worst of our times. Let us examine let's examine both the cases and see um, how good we are and what is the rationale behind feeling it so that way. So the so, so this is the quiz that we have taken before. Now let us see what is the best, why we feel that the best of times, because we have already discussed that there's so much of innovation that has happened. Science and technology has given so much advancements for us, be it is in medicine and be it is any other field, internet, computers, artificial intelligence, self-driving cars, robots, electric devices, aeroplanes, satellites. You name it, you have plenty. There's so many things that we cannot really think of. But however, at the same time, we also do the worst of our times. So there are economic disparities, the increased stress and tensions and anxiety levels in the human beings today. There's so many diseases and viruses, a lot of violence, racism, and crime. So if you really look into statistics, last year, I mean, at least every year on an average, there are 10 million deaths for just because of hunger. There are 400% increase in antidepressant consumption, and there are 40 million guns sold in 2020 alone in USA. 20 million, 40 million, sorry, the highest in the last 20 years. And then even the government's priorities are surprising. They're spending more money on military spending than health and education. 600 billion in military spending compared to 70 billion for the health and education in USA. So we have both the worlds we have seen. We have both extremes. Our generation, fortunately or unfortunately, have a unique experience of seeing both the extremes of the coin. We have the best and we are seeing the worst. Now, it brings us to the question, why this paradox? Because science is aiming to solve the problems or mysteries in the physical world, but not the not metaphysical world. Physical world means the material world, what we are living in right now, but not within the metaphysical world where our feelings, our emotions, our experiences are happening. Any innovation in the physical world can only give you comfort, but not happiness. So all these advanced innovations that what we see in this world, what we are enjoying in this world, they are giving for sure a lot of comfort, convenience, and it is reducing the time, and it has improved our efficiencies, and it has done so much benefit. But at the same time, It cannot give you happiness. Even though we feel that's giving you happiness, it is only temporary, which is not real happiness. Because happiness is not a materialistic thing, it's a feeling, it's a subtle emotion feeling which is generated inside you with or without any material or without depending any other material. And then another thing is latest, we have the lot of crave for the all the new technologies or new devices, and whenever you see something new comes up, usually we have the urge to acquire that, whether it could be a new release of a phone or a car or maybe another electronic device. We have that fascination towards that new technology or devices. But that latest doesn't mean that that is the greatest, because these things will continue to change. That is not constant. Today, what seems to be the best technology, tomorrow it's going to be obsolete. So we have so much that is being enjoyed today in this world. But the irony is, though we have plenty, but somehow we still feel empty because we have comfort. Because um, by far, our generation is more wealthiest than our previous generations, at least on the physical terms. So we have accumulated more comforts for sure, but you don't feel that happiness. We have health, wealth, but there is no contentment. We have medicines, but no health. We have education, but no wisdom. We do have luxuries, but no life. So, but though we are not getting the satisfaction that what we are looking for, but we cannot stop doing it because as we always want more, since there is no other way out for us, we keep on doing what we are doing, exploring something new and then buying something new so that we feel happy, content. So, knowingly or unknowingly, we are trapped into a strong habit loop. So, whenever we see something, we like it. That's the crave that we create, and we want it. So, we respond to it, and then we get it. So, that's why we gratify ourselves. And this habit continues, and there is no exit for this loop. So, gratification through sensual pleasures is temporary. The more you indulge, the more you become dependent. So, to break this cycle, you need a strong mind. The real happiness comes from the wonders within, not from the wonders outside. We have been looking for the wonders outside, and we are lost in the amazement of the wonders outside. But the true happiness only can come from within. So, undoubtedly, the greatest wonders are the greatest wonders that universe has seen is within us. So you may have you may be raising the eyebrows because what great we have within ourselves, which without knowing with us, we haven't really seen that kind of wonders within us. So let us begin to examine the wonders what we have within ourselves with our own body first. We have wondered when somebody has created barcodes, touch screens, supercomputers, etc., that has given us a lot of excitement. But these are created very recently. But the science of the universe is beyond our imagination. If you look at your own body, your fingerprints, when you are in the womb, within the first 3 months of your journey to life, you have formed the fingerprints, which are the first barcodes. which you never, these kind of fingerprints you will never see with anybody else. These are so unique for only for one individual. And then touch screens. Your skin is the ultimate touch screen. Each square inch of skin includes 4 yards of nerve fibers, 600 pain sensors, 1300 nerve cells, 9,000 nerve endings, 36 heat sensors, 75 pressure points, and 1,000 sweat glands, 3 million cells, and 3 yards of blood vessels in just 1 square inch of skin. That is the ultimate touch screen which we have ever seen so far. And the brain is the best supercomputer anybody has seen so far. If your brain has to compute, if it has to become a computer, then every second it can perform 36,000 trillion operations. And then the brain, the storage capacity of the brain, we have heard so far earlier. So we started with kilobytes and then megabytes and then gigabytes and then petabytes and so on. So that your brain can actually store the data of 2.5 million gigabytes digital memory. It has the ability to store 2.5 million gigabytes of digital memory. So which means, to put it in perspective, you would have to leave the TV running continuously for more than 300 years to use up all that storage that what you have as a capacity in our brain. So these are just few examples that how amazing wonders or technology that we are living with day in and day out in our daily life. Why only one single part? If you look at the whole body itself, say for example, your body itself is a hologram, and you all seen that holograms in different places, maybe in the airports, maybe in the hotel somewhere. It's a projection of light in the shape of a human body, which will be talking to you as if you're talking to a human body. The same way, your body itself is a hologram because it has trillions of cells in human body. Each cell or each atom is mostly made of space. So human body is roughly 99.99999% space. So which means if you are really removing the space out of each atom, then you are reduced to not even, you cannot see with your own eye. So, but it's just a projection that what we see today is a hologram, a projection, like you see the projector, how it gives you the same projection, human body. Such is the amazing technology that we are handling on a daily basis. But however, the body itself again is a matter. Earlier we were discussing that wonders which are happening in the material world does not really have any bearing on giving you happiness. That doesn't help you too much to improve your emotional well-being. So your body itself again is a material made of 5 elements. If there is such an amazing technology exists in your body, how wonderful and extraordinary the being that owns this body. So the body that what we are using is just an instrument as a vehicle. The one who is actually managing this body is the celestial body, the celestial star, a living energy, a point of light. We also call it as the spirit, the soul. The wonderful aspects of this energy is this energy has no beginning, and then there is no end. And also, It cannot be seen through your naked eye, but you can experience through its feelings and emotions and thoughts. This is definitely not physical. As we said, it is metaphysical. But the thoughts and ideas can manifest into a material world as reality. So all the creations are starting with an idea. So an invisible idea is coming into reality, into life. That's the beauty of your the celestial star. It has the power to create hell and heaven. It depends on how you think and how you use this power within us. It can create miracles and as well as it can create the misery as well. Now, how does it work? So, this celestial star, how does it work? Now, let's try to understand the dynamics of action. There are three components: mind, intellect, and samskars. In other words, thoughts, words, actions, also another combination we have. Your mind is the one which has the ability to think or it generates the thoughts. Intellect is the one which decides or which rationalizes the thoughts, whether right or wrong, or good, bad, or important, not important. So those kind of decisions, discretion, judgment that happens in the intellect. Adieu samskar is a storage or database. Once your intellect lets you to perform a thought into a word or an action, the experience that what you generate that is stored into your database, that is your samskar. So the quality of thoughts that are generated through our mind is significantly influenced by already the kind of samskars that what you have accumulated within ourselves. If you are accumulating pure positive samskars, then obviously the thoughts are also being generated from your mind in the same direction. But if you're of a negative person, and then if your samskars are not so elevated, and then automatically the thoughts that the mind generates are also going to be similar nature. So the reason why I'm highlighting this one is we need to understand the dynamics of action. Every minute, every thought, every word well being, which means everything that is happening is actually being recorded and which will have a consequence and for which I need to be ready to take it as a reward. So, whatever be the situation that I am in today, that is the result of the action that I have performed in the past, decisions that I made in the past. So, I am the one who is creating my fortune and my destiny. So, if I'm feeling happy or sorrow, is the result of the experience that I have recorded in my consciousness. If I have generated elevated thoughts and then that has led into elevated actions, then that brings me happiness. But whereas if my actions are not so elevated, then automatically that will give me sorrow. So this is all I have created for myself. So I have the power to re-record my nature with conscious effort. So we have seen earlier in the previous slides, we have plenty, but we do still feel that emptiness. We have physical wealth, we have physical comforts. We have a lot of gadgets, advanced accessories, but still, why we cannot? Because it is the mind, it is this nature that I have recorded within me that is causing me, that is giving me happy or unhappy. So, without changing this one, no matter how much I do outside, it does not give me the expected result. So, that's why we have the power to re record this and our nature, so that the burden that what we are carrying with us from this birth and maybe from the previous births, all is prohibiting us to experience that joy, because we have the debt that is sitting on our shoulder. So that consciousness is not permitted to experience that joy or peace or happiness because of the debt that what we have created. So now, to be able to um, do the re-recording, what it requires is the information feed that needs to be verified, because I am what I feed to my mind. So, in other words, the books that I read, the movies that I see, the music that I listen to, the people that I meet, and the conversations that I make, all of them are the information feed to my mind. So we need to check. We may be thinking it's only 2 hours movie. What happens? It doesn't okay. It's okay. No, it's not okay, because you have turned your camera on all the time, 24/7. It's recording whether you like it or you don't like it, whether you know it or you don't know it. Everything that is happening, everything that you are doing is being recorded, and you cannot get away from that influence of that. So it is our intelligence that needs to be utilized to choose wisely what do I read, because that's what I'm going to become eventually. So nothing will change in my personality until I change the information I feed. So the information that I'm consuming is the basis for my thoughts. So we exercise, right? If you look at this today, the kind of thoughts that what we generate, there are at least on an average, we generate about 60 to 70,000 thoughts in a day. And most of those thoughts, out of those 60 and 70,000 thoughts, most of those thoughts are either waste or negative thoughts. So where does these thoughts coming from? From the exposure that what we have, either through our social media, or news from television, or WhatsApp, or newspapers, conversations, whatever. So everything that around the world, it gives you constantly some or other information. That is the feed that is creating these thoughts. But if you carefully look at those information, the quality of that information today, that what we are seeing in this world, it is not of elevated. So it is filled with some or other kind of disturbance. It could be violence, it could be corruption, or it could be some injustice somewhere, or you know, you already know. So what kind of information that we have that is being spread. So next time, whenever you happen to receive any message through WhatsApp, say for example, if the message is not so elevated, even if it means a simple joke, ridiculing somebody, or you know um, insulting somebody, or making fun of somebody, it looks funny, but I don't think you should share it with anybody, because You may be wondering what is a big deal. Yes, there is a big deal, because you are continuing that samskar of insulting someone or taking insult from someone. Both are not good. You don't want to insult someone, or you don't want to take insult from somebody. So that samskar will be continued, and then it becomes much stronger. So that's why even those subtle things that needs to be modified if you really want to bring change within ourselves. And moreover, each and every thought that what we generate is depleting the energy from me, and also it is also stealing my peace and my happiness. So next time, whenever you think, the most easiest thought that we generate are waste thoughts and negative thoughts, as I already mentioned. But do not think that those thoughts are for free. Nothing is free. You are paying the price for every thought that what we are generating. What is the price that we are paying for those waste and negative thoughts? It is eventually stealing my peace and my happiness, and it is creating some obstacle, creating some scar that is stopping me to be happy and to remain free and joyful. So no thought is free, especially the waste thoughts and the negative thoughts. Those are not definitely free. They have a price tag. We are paying the price by indulging, by entertaining, by continuing waste and negative thoughts. Now, how do we change the samskars of creating those negative thoughts? For that, we need to really go deep into the world that is living within us. So we know the universe, but we also should know there is a universe that is hidden within each one of us, that I call it as universe. So to be able to dwell, to be able to step into that unknown territory, that a universe sitting inside each one of us, we need to break away from the worldly noise and then all the things that are happening around the world. So try to find solitude and keeping yourself away from the noise and the chatter, the outside world. And then the second step is it's not just the outside noise. We should also stop the chatter that is going on inside our mind. There is constantly something or else going on our mind. You will get to know when you try to meditate, then you'll come to know how noisy your mind is. So you will start getting all those different thoughts and to disturb you, not allowing your mind to focus on your meditation. So you need to make sure the mind is silenced from all those unnecessary chatter or conversation. So once you bring this stage of solitude and silence, then when we start reflecting upon ourselves, that is self reflection. So, what do we do in this self reflection? We start questioning ourselves, but who really am I? Am I the bodily being that I see through my eyes or the mirror? Am I the role that I am playing as a father, as a mother, or as a colleague, or as a manager, whatever? So, am I those roles that I play or perform in my daily life? So, this reflection should start bringing some kind of awareness within you, that is called self awareness. So, you realize you are the one person but playing different roles in different contexts, but you are none of those roles. Those are just the roles, not you. Like how you take different costumes for different occasions. Like in morning, when you go to office, you wear a different costume. But when you're at home, probably you wear a different costume. But when you are going to bed, you're going to wear a different costume. The same way, when you are dealing with people and you wear different masks or different roles to play that part, but underneath that there is one unique entity or being who is playing all these parts. That is the one, that is my true identity. If I am identifying myself with my body or my roles or with my costumes or my names, that's not true identity. The true self awareness is having that, you know, being, recognition of that living being, the spirit, the soul, Atma, at what we call it. Now that we know through self awareness and after self reflection and self awareness, we know that we are the spirit, the being, or the energy, not the physical being. But that awareness alone is not sufficient enough. You should have the realization, self realization, which means you should be actually experiencing what it really means to be a soul, what it really means to be that living being. We say that we are eternal being, but what does that eternal really means? We say that we are peaceful being, that what that really peace means. Loveful being, what that love really means. Where do you get that love? Today in this material world, you cannot see love that is unconditional and pure. You cannot see the peace except the word peace, but you cannot really experience the real peace. And we only have the, you know, the idea of happiness, but not the real happiness in this world. So where do we experience that? So that is the self realization. So those hidden qualities, those love, peace, happiness, are my true nature. So I have within me, that is what I am actually made of. That's why you will never find happiness and peace in the outside world until you stop searching for them, because that's not where they are. So you don't need to search there, and even though if you search, you will never get it. So you need to stop searching for love, peace in the external world, because those are inside of us, those are within us, those are the true nature and qualities through which that we have been filled. So that actualization, that self realization, is the first step to start experiencing the extraordinary nature of each soul. But however, we know that we have these qualities, but we don't have it right now within us. And on top of it, we have so many devilish traits or qualities or negative traits like anger, ego, lust, greed, attachment, jealousy, cruelty, laziness. So many unwanted traits or acquired some scars we have within each one of us. So to be able to experience those pure positive samskars or your native samskars, we should be able to overcome or remove or erase the samskars that what we have acquired from the physical world through the activities that what we have performed in this physical world. So who will give you, where do you have that power? And you, if you have that power, definitely you'll be able to do it, but you don't have that power. Then that self realization should also bring you another reflection to your mind. Okay, if I am the soul, if I am eternal being, if I am having these other qualities, then where do I come from? Whom do I belong to? Where is my place of residence? Who is my father? Because for the body, we have the parents, but for the soul also, there has to be a parent. So in every religion, people say God is the father. So we are all children of God. That's every religion accepts it undisputedly. So, but do we have that real experience of being the child of God? Do we have that relationship? So when do we remember that relationship? How we are experimenting with relationship? Then how do we know that we are experiencing and exchanging that feeling of love of being a child towards my father? So that brings the other aspect, that is supreme consciousness. So when you are going beyond that your own identity, and then when we are searching for the real truth and real connection with the eternity, and real with the connection with the truth itself, that is the God itself, then that brings to the supreme consciousness, and that's how you are connecting to the supreme power, which is the ocean of love, ocean of peace, and ocean of happiness. So it is, if you really want to experience the qualities within us, it is important for us to keep in an awareness who really we are and how amazing we truly are. So remember that I am an eternal soul. I am a child of God. I am a divine being. These are not just the ideas, these are the truth that we need to experiment. Every cell of my body is filled with the divine energy. I am God's angel. I am the Master Almighty Authority. I am a world benefactor, and my duty is to serve the human beings. So, when you have that elevated consciousness that I am this, that's where the extraordinary part of you is coming out of from this kind of exercise. So, unless you think that you are the child of God, so simple exercise. If you are, um, say, a son of a millionaire or a billionaire, you are naturally having that consciousness within you, and then that pride of being a son of a billionaire will always be there with you. Then your activities are governed by that consciousness. Same way, if you are the child of God, then what should be our consciousness, and how royal should be our behavior, and how joyful and happy and carefree we should be. That is the extraordinary part of me. So if I can really experiment these thoughts and then experience the relationship, the benefit of these thoughts, initially when you are making these kind of thoughts in your mind, it may feel real awkward, or you may feel really odd, because these are something new for us. We have never thought that I am eternal, I am child of God, I am a divine being, I am an angel. So these kind of thoughts we have never experimented before. And on the contrary, if somebody comes and say you're an idiot, and we have immediately taken that, and we have believed that, and we have responded with an anger, or maybe with a hurt in our hearts, right? So, but these kind of elevated thoughts we have never tried, we have never accepted. So these are the thoughts that we need to really experiment, and then only we can become the extraordinary being that what we are talking about. So when by doing that thoughts that what we have discussed before, what kind of transformation that can it can bring to ourselves is Whenever we see ourselves, because we have been practicing as a soul, then when we see other people also as a soul, but not through the role, that other person might be acting maybe as a security guard, or maybe as an attendant, maybe as a CEO, or maybe some MD. So, no matter what kind of role that they are performing, but we see them as a soul, we are being the soul, we only see the soul. So, soul to soul, there is no discrimination, both are equal, both are the children of God. So, that kind of equanimity that comes into when you see the soul as a soul with that consciousness of being a soul, then every person has some specialities and some difficult situations, because that reveals the defect within them. So eh, we only need to see the specialities, not the defects, because as a soul, I am content. As a soul, I am already filled with every positive virtue that I need to be. Then I only see other person's speciality, not the defect. So that when I observe the speciality, I'll attract the speciality into me as well. But when I see the defect, then I am also invoking the defects within me, because that's where my attention is. So I don't want to bring the defects out into me or invoke the defects within me. So my attention should be only at the speciality. So that's where I also attracted as specialities. So there may be a lot of chaos that is happening in the world around you, but being extraordinary means to be able to remain calm and peaceful, because that's your true nature. Unless you agree and allow those chaos into yourself, that will not come to you, no matter how much it is going on outside. But unless we really allow them, it will not come into ourselves. So, staying calm and peaceful is the nature of an extraordinary being. And always being cheerful and happy, because today our happiness is fluctuating, our joy is fluctuating, because we are going through the emotions of pain and pleasure, happiness and sorrow, both. But actually, as we mentioned earlier, by nature, I am happy. By nature, I am blissful. By nature, so I am joyful. So then, whatever that is happening within in the costume or within the role, it is just a part of the play that shouldn't be disturbed. That should not be disturbing my cheerfulness and happiness. So, if you happen to go to a temple, especially in the Hindu tradition, if somebody is going to the temple, you happen to see a deity idol there. How those deity idols are, they're always very pleasant, smiling, and you never see a deity idol with a grim face. The reason why we worship them is that is that we are not actually worshipping the idol there. We are actually worshipping their character, their nature. So they are always cheerful and happy. And those people who are really cheerful and happy always, those are extraordinary. That's why we praise them, we respect them, and we admire them. And we also worship in the Bhakti Marg, we also worship them. So, and be loving and detached. So, you should be having the consciousness of um, love, but at the same time, you should also be detached to it. So, you should not be entangled to it. The moment you're entangled, um, then you're actually having that attachment, then that gives you pain. So that's why you are loving with all the people that we are interacting, but we are not attached to anything. We stay distance, we maintain the distance. That's how God is. God is loving to every soul, every children, everything. But he does not take anybody's pain or sorrow, and then he starts feeling the pain and sorrow for himself. So he is loving. He gives you the power. He gives you cooperation. He gives you everything. But he is detached. And he doesn't take into his personal feelings, whatever that pain or sorrow somebody is going through. So we should maintain the same composure. Show courage and unshakable faith. So this is the power. Showing courage is the power when there is a need to stand, withstand, to face some challenging situations, because it is like an examination. So when you are progressing forward, you all have studied in our schools and colleges. The more we are going up into the education, the tougher it gets. The same way, life also offers the situations and challenges. So it requires courage. It takes courage to face those situations and challenges. Those are coming only to give us an experience or to make us much stronger. So we should have that faith that we can handle this and we can become victorious, because we are the children of God, because we are the master almighty authorities. So we have the power, we have the support, so we can overcome any challenging situations. So those are the people who can show that courage, display that courage. That's why we call them extraordinary people. Become unlimited, unconditional, become the bestower of blessings, and continue to spread the fragrance of spirituality. Right? So that's where exactly Raja Yoga meditation helps you, because Raja Yoga meditation is a method to explore the inner world. So we have talked about how we can explore the universe within us. So that's where Raja Yoga meditation helps you to take you into the inner world by bringing you the consciousness of the soul, and then by giving you the simple tools and techniques so that you can distance yourself from this material pull, and then practice those elevated thoughts that what we discussed before. So it gives you the knowledge of the soul, and most importantly, as we discussed earlier, we all have the burden of the past that we have been carrying. So we need to cleanse that on our soul, the stains of that past, the burden that needs to be cleansed. That's where Rajayoga meditation can help you to liberate ourselves from that past karma and become karmatit. It helps you to break the barriers of the body and the material world, connects the mind to the supreme source of light and might, and fills you with that light and might. That means you have the knowledge and we have the power to overcome, and restores the virtues and spiritual powers, and transform the souls from ordinary into an extraordinary being. Okay, so let us quickly actually I wanted to tell a story, but we don't have much time. So let us quickly the experiment few minutes in meditation, and then we'll take the questions. Oftentimes we see ourselves as ordinary beings. Through this exercise, you give permission to yourself as a beautiful and extraordinary soul. Let's begin this journey. Sit back, relax your body, take a slow, deep breath and release it. Repeat this one more time. You feel yourself relaxing more and more deeply. As your mind and heart drift away from the world into a soft place of stillness and comfort. Imagine yourself standing on the shore of a beautiful, exquisite, vast lake stretching miles and miles. In front of you, there is an exquisite boat waiting for you. It can be any boat of your dreams. Whatever you imagine it to be, sit somewhere secure and comfortable, and feel the boat as it drifts out into the center of the lake, slowly and gently, leaving the shore of your life for a few moments. As that boat continues to drift, you go even deeper to the state of relaxation, into a state of the beautiful, sublime state of peace, where the mind is as clear as a blue sky around you. Begin to sense that light, that spirit, that divinity that you are. You sense this more and more as the world of situations disappear, as and deeper into the center of the lake. You begin to feel weightless, as if you have lost your form of flesh and bone, and all that's left is a still, pure light standing under the sun of light. And you see you're close to the other shore. It's an exquisite, beautiful place, very peaceful, very natural, very simple. As you get to the other shore, you see on that land an extraordinary vision of yourself, an extraordinary vision of your beauty, your goodness, your light, your brilliance, and your capacities. Allow yourself to see that vision of your extraordinary you. Notice the qualities that radiate from you. And as you see the vision of yourself, pick a few words that describe you: luminous, perhaps, blissful, loving. Pick a few words that describe the extraordinary you. Now, I would like you to step towards that extraordinary vision and merge with that extraordinary part of yourself. Step into it and feel yourself expand with vitality, with energy, perhaps into silence, peace, whatever is good for you. Allow that to fill you. Now ask yourself, what would happen if you saw that vision of you as an extraordinary at least 2 to 3 times a day? If you took some time out to just visualize that part of you.